is CNN Breaking News.
Hello and welcome to Tyler Turtle News on Channel 41. I am Christasha Johnson.
And I'm John Gallagher. On today's news, genetic mutation. What is it? How does it occur? And are human beings the only one affected by it?
A genetic mutation or gene mutation is a permanent alteration in the DNA sequence that makes up a gene, such that the sequence differs from what is found in most people.
Mutations can range in size, affecting anywhere from a single DNA building block to an entire chromosome. That includes multiple genes.
Genetic mutations can be classified in two major categories: hereditary mutations and acquired mutations.
Hereditary mutations are inherited from a parent and are present throughout a person's life in virtually every cell of the body. Acquired mutations occur at some time during a person's life and are present in only certain cells, not every cell of the entire body.
For example, the mutant in X-Men contains the X gene, which is a hereditary mutation. It's hereditary because one of the parents must be carrying the X gene to be able to pass it on to their children.
But it can also be classified as an acquired mutation because most of the mutant's abilities occur at a certain age in their life, mostly when they hit puberty.
Comic book science fact. Deadpool is not a mutant, he is a mutate, which is a person who was genetically mutated by the use of Wolverine's DNA.
Sadly, genetic mutations do not give you amazing powers that you can use to either become a superhero or a supervillain.
Our scriptwriter says he would most likely be an anti-hero like Deadpool. Back on the subject. DNA is constantly subject to mutations, accidental change in its code. Mutations can lead to missing or malformed proteins, and that can lead to disease.
Humans go through a great amount of mutations, and some are rare while others are more common. Now let's get ready for something weird.
Gigantism. A rare condition that causes abnormal growth in children. This change is most notable in terms of height, but birth is affected as well. A pituitary gland tumor is almost always the cause of gigantism.
Ectrodactyly, rare limb malformation with median clefts of the hand and feet, and aplasia and hypoaplasia of the phalanges, metacarpals, and metatarsals. When present as an isolated anomaly, it is usually inherited as an autosomal dominant form.
Hypertrichosis. An excessive hair growth over and above the normal for the age, sex, and race of an individual. In contrast to hirsutism, which is excessive hair growth in women following male distribution pattern. Hypertrichosis can develop all over the body or can be isolated to small patches.
Epidermodysplasia verruciformis, EV, is a rare autosomal recessive inherited skin disorder characterized by eruptions of wart-like lesions that may occur anywhere on the body. These lesions are caused by an infection with the human papillomavirus, HPV. There are over 70 subtypes of HPV that are responsible for causing a wide range of these viral warts.
Cyanomelia, the mermaid syndrome, an extremely rare congenital development disorder characterized by anomalies of the lower spine and the lower limbs. Affected infants are born with a partial or complete fusion of the legs. Additional malformations may occur, including genitourinary abnormalities, gastrointestinal abnormalities, anomalies of the lumbosacral spine and pelvis, and obscene or underdevelopment of one or both kidneys.
Hutchinson-Gilford progenia syndrome, known as progenia and HGPS, is a rare fatal genetic condition characterized by an appearance of accelerated aging in children. HGPS is caused by a mutation in the gene called LMNA, pronounced lamin A. Although they are born looking healthy, children with progeria begin to display many characteristics of accelerated aging within the first 2 years of life.
Proteus syndrome, also known as the elephant man syndrome, is a rare condition characterized by overgrowth of the bones, skin, and other tissues. Organs and tissues affected by the disease grow in proportion to the rest of the body. The overgrowth is usually asymmetric, which means it affects the right and left sides of the body differently. Newborns with Proteus syndrome have few or no signs of the condition. Overgrowth becomes apparent between the ages of 6 to 18 months and gets severe with age.
Cyclopia is a rare lethal complex human malformation resulting from the incomplete cleavage of prosencephalon into the right and left hemispheres occurring between the 18th and 28th days of gestation. Cyclopia typically presents a median single eye or partially divided eye in a single orbit, absent nose, and proboscis above the eye.
Do all gene mutations affect health and development? The answer is no. Only a small percentage of mutations cause genetic disorders. Most have no impact on health or development.
Often, gene mutations that could cause genetic disorder are repaired by certain enzymes before the gene is expressed and altered protein is produced. A very small percentage of all mutations actually have positive effects.
Now, if you thought humans were the only ones who undergo genetic mutations, then you are sadly mistaken. Here are some examples of genetically mutated animals.
The octogoat. In Croatia, a baby goat was born with a genetic abnormality that resulted in the sprouting of 4 extra legs. This is the result of one of the goats being absorbed by its siblings in the womb. Sadly, the goat did not survive very long.
Froggy, a 3-headed frog. Scientists aren't sure if Froggy's abnormality is the result of a genetic birth defect or a mutation resulting from pollution, but this 3-headed and 6-legged frog is certainly ambitious.
The one-footed snake. In 2009, a snake with a single clawed foot was discovered by a woman in southwest China. Dean Quinzhou found the snake hanging on her window. She was so freaked out by the creature that she beat it to death with her own shoe and wisely remembered to preserve it in a jar of alcohol. Many theories have gone around as to how the snake sprouted this extra foot, but many believe that it is the result of atavism, a phenomenon in which a genetic trait that existed in the snake's ancestors made itself apparent in the snake.
The monkey pig. The strange little piglet with the face of a monkey was born in a small village in China. The piglet's condition, thought to be a result of genetic defect known as helicosencephaly. The condition can cause cyclopia, which may explain why the pig's eyes are so close together.
Faith, the 2-legged dog. At birth, Faith suffered from a brain defect which wouldn't allow for the full development of her front legs. She couldn't walk and had been rejected by her mother, a homeless dog which had tried to kill her. She was then found by 17-year-old Reuben Stringfellow, who gave her to his mother. Her front 2 legs later began to weaken and had to unfortunately be amputated. Left with only 2 hind legs, Faith was taught how to stand, walk, hop, and run. And today, Faith walks on her hind legs just like a human.
Last but not least, the two-faced cat. This two-faced cat is known as Frankie and Louie. The cat is the result of absorbing another member of the litter in the womb. While animals born usually don't live long due to a number of problems like cleft platelets and pneumonia that are associated with the mutation, Frankie and Louie seem to have avoided the side effects and have lived a long and full life together.
Well, that's all for today. And from all of us here at Tyler Turtle News, I'm John Gallagher.
And I am Christasha Johnson, saying thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you next time. Until then, have a great day, Tyler.